Day after day, I must face a world of strangers where I don't belong. I'm not that strong.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy DreSays, and welcome back to the DreSays Podcast. This is episode 4. I did not think I was going to make it to episode 4. I'm going to be keeping a whole buck with you. I didn't think I was going to make it to episode 4. But we here. We are episode 4. Just to recap, you know what I mean? The first episode was crazy, male insecurities. I tapped into that a little bit. Second episode was I'm tired. I mean, with the state of the world right now, you understand what I mean when I say I'm tired. The third episode was my birthday episode, so that was great. I appreciate everybody that was in that episode. Don't worry, at the end of this episode, I will be announcing who won the raffle if you watched the whole second episode and followed the directions you were entered in. So what are we going to do on this fourth episode? So I had a bunch of ideas. I initially wanted my niece and nephew to be on this episode with me, but I'm going to keep it a buck. Me being, you know what I mean, lackadaisy all week between work, not getting the equipment in that I needed, and not having the time to get it all recorded and done. That's not going to happen this week. It will happen, though. It's still going to happen, but it's not going to happen this week. So then I was stuck with the dilemma of what the fuck am I going to talk about? And the same thing kept popping up in my head over and over again. If you follow me on any social media, you've seen me comment, you've seen me talk about dating, right? And the fact that I don't like to do it. Let me say this first. To all my exes. Long-term, short-term. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I hold no ill will towards any of them. I don't think they have any towards me either. I haven't met one yet that's just like totally fuck Dre. They probably have moments where they're like, you know what, fuck this nigga Dre. But there hasn't been one where they're like, if there is, yo, let me know. Comment on this bitch. If you feel that way towards me, comment on it. I'd like to know. I'm not gonna be mad about it. But I don't think there's one out there. That's mostly because of my mom. And my sister. See, I was brought up to love and appreciate women in general. I say it all the time. I just love women. And of course, naturally, people go to thinking like, I mean it in a lustful way. That's not the case. I genuinely love being around women. Look at my friends groups. Like, I have a lot of female friends. When I was growing up, I had a good amount of female friends. I got my bros, I got the homies, but I enjoy being around women. Shit, I'm into fashion, you know what I mean? Shoes, clothing, like sneakers, book bags, massive amounts of book bags. It's just a thing. I was just brought up that way. So then you wonder why I can't stay in a relationship. And a lot of it is to do with me. I'm gonna say at least 80%. I'm not gonna take the whole 100%. At least 80% of it has to do with me. I'm not saying that I sabotage relationships. I just don't think I found the one that fits me yet. This is where I'm gonna lose some people. This moment right here is where people are going to go from liking every video I put up and commenting, oh, this was amazing, to feeling some type of way. But before you do, listen to the rest of the podcast. I don't feel like I sabotage my relationships. I do feel like I haven't found one that fits me, right? What I mean by that is I don't believe that I'm meant for one person. Here we go. Give me that moment that I asked for. I genuinely don't believe that I'm supposed to be with one person. I don't think I'm supposed to be with one woman. Um, I know that's not normal, or what everybody says is normal. I know that it's not something easy to find, but I genuinely just don't believe it's for me. I've had some pretty great women in my life. I've never cheated before in my life. To my knowledge, I haven't been cheated on. I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, I haven't been cheated on. But I just never found that wholehearted happiness with one person. Then I look at my friendships. I've multiple friends that are totally different. None of them are the same. But yet, majority of them are 10 or plus years. And I know you're thinking, yeah, but that's a friendship, that's not a relationship. I hold my friendships at a higher standard than I do my relationships most of the time because I know they're going to be there for me. I do certain things with certain friends. I do certain things with other friends. In the last 3 years, since my last serious relationship, who, let's not get this twisted, I love her. Like, to this day, I have love for her. But it wasn't working. We lost communication skills. It was long distance, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't as easy, but there was things that you had to try at that on both ends we weren't doing. And then I start to think, well, what if it just wasn't us two? What if there was a third party invested in our relationship? What if there was a fourth party invested in our relationship? I'm not talking about friends. I'm not talking about family. I'm talking about someone genuinely invested in our relationship. Again, this is where I'm going to lose people. But I'm cool with that because I know myself. So, after that last relationship, I had to go on like a quest of sorts, right? I went through the initial shit. I went through the initial, man, fuck this. I ain't getting in no more relationships. I don't need nobody. I'm going to do me, right? I went through that. That lasted a whole, like, let's keep it real, 3 weeks. And then I was like, well, something's not right. Because if I'm being honest, like I told you on my last video, I love myself more so in this day and age and this time frame in my life than I have ever. So why the fuck can't I find somebody that feels the same way towards me? Don't get me wrong. I have no doubt that my exes love me. But why can't I find someone that loves me the way that I love them? Or why don't I feel like when they're loving me, it's not good enough? That might be a shock to a couple of them too, because I don't think I've ever voiced that to them. Or when I feel like I'm loving them more than they love me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to look deep into myself for that. Because normally to get the answers that you're looking for, you got to start here first, right? You got to start with yourself first. So I did that. I found a bunch of insecurities, like I talked about in my first video. I found some fears. And then I found me. And I found what I love about myself the most. And then I found that I'm a total package. Yeah. I don't care what nobody else says. I am. Now, do me a favor. Once you heard me say that, think really quickly before you start to listen to what I'm actually saying. Think about this very quickly though. When I said total package, what was the first thing you thought of? I bet you $1,000 it was looks. It's fucked up how our brain works, right? Because the first time I said it to myself, that's what I thought of. And I was like, God damn, like, maybe I shouldn't say that shit. But no, realistically, at the age of 37, to have a career, run a business on the side, no children, financially stable, you don't depend on anybody but yourself, and to have the heart that I have and the knowledge that I have about the type of people that I like and love, yeah, fuck that. I'm a total package. Just because my body ain't got abs on it don't mean that I'm not. But that's a whole nother subject. So I started looking into that. I'm like, whoa, Dre, so what the fuck is the problem then? You know, with research, especially within yourself, you start to venture out to different things. So I went on this thing where I was dating multiple people at a time. I don't mean I had side bitches. I mean, I legitimately started dating multiple people at a time. I didn't call it dating, though. I just said I was seeing people. Some people that like to do certain things. Some people like to do other stuff. Some people love to go out, grab dinner, movie, whatever. Some people just like to stay in the house. Some people that like to travel. You know what I mean? Some people that like to go to the gym, even though I wasn't big in it. But I started seeing multiple different people, right? That was the happiest time I'd ever had being in relationships. I didn't call them relationships, but that's what it was. Like that was the best time. That's when I felt the most comfortable, right? And I know you're thinking like, yo, this motherfucker's greedy. I might be, but I'm also making sure that every person that I'm with is taken care of. I'm also making sure that when I'm with them, that they are the most important person to me at that time. That they feel that. Not the fact that they are, but that they feel that. I'm making sure they never feel like a dummy when they're out in these streets. Like someone could be talking about them behind their back because they know more about me than they ever will. You know what I'm saying? These aren't side women that I was seeing. You know what I'm saying? These were people I was legitimately getting to know and dating and openly honest with them about what I was doing. So they had an option. They could either run with me on this or they could tell me to fuck off. Oh, and don't get me wrong. I got a lot of those fuck offs. But there was a few choice women that were cool with it. And was like, let's try this. Let's see how this works. I'll fast forward and just tell you right now, I'm single as shit. So it didn't really pan out the way I wanted to, but I found out what I needed to know about myself. I have a problem, and it's not really a problem, but I have a thing in my brain that makes me want to be there for people. Especially women. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be forever looking for someone to try to help or fix. No. No. Sometimes you just want to be that support person for someone. You want to be that person's shoulder. You want to be that person's rock. That's me. But I like to be that for multiple people. I'm also a Cancer. If you've never dated a Cancer before, we are a tough nut to crack. But once you do, we are forever dedicated to you. We will forever have your back. We will forever protect you. We will forever love you and make sure that you feel loved and appreciated. But we are also so difficult and so crazy when it comes to this love thing that sometimes it takes someone who can show us love in 5 different ways. You know how they say you have love languages? I don't believe that Cancers have one love language, or 2, or 3. I think we have a smorgasbord of those motherfuckers. So for me, again, me being with multiple people has been the best I've felt loved in a very long time. So I know I'm losing a lot of y'all with this shit, right? So let me just say this. I by no means feel like I need to go out in these streets and fuck a bunch of bitches, right? If that was the case, I'd have a bunch of kids right now. I don't feel that way. I do feel like a multi-person relationship is a better fit and suit for me. If I'm disappointing a few people right now, I'm sorry. I know there's a couple people I'm supposed to hang out with recently that's coming up soon that don't know this about me. You may not want to chill with me after that, but I don't really care because this is who I am and I'm comfortable with it. It's crazy the amount of people that I say this to and they look at me and go, I get that. With you, I get that. But there's no fucking way I could do that. That's exactly what they say. I get that. I get where you're coming from, but there's no fucking way. It's not for everybody. Shit, it took me 30 years almost, a little bit more, to figure out that's who I was and that's what was good for me. Essentially, it took me 30 years to learn how to share. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I need to be engulfed and surrounded by women. No. But I do need to find 2 or 3 that are a perfect match for me. I don't know why I'm this way, but this is the way I am. And this is the way I feel the most comfortable. And may this cause me to never be married, to never have kids? Yes. But I am happier alone than I am with one person that can't fulfill what I need. My mom has a saying, I can do bad by myself. Pretty much. All right, y'all. That's my spiel for the day. I'm going to go ahead and announce the winner of that raffle now. I'm going to throw them all into this app that I have, and I will post the winner. And if you won, you win a DreSays backpack, and it's going to be filled with stuff. Once you see that you won, because now listen, it was a contest. I'm not going to go and contact you. You should be watching right now. Once you see that you won, contact me through message on YouTube, Instagram at DreSays, Facebook, facebook.com/DreSays. Shoot me a message if you got my phone number, text me, and I'll get your sizes and I'll hook you up. Thanks for sitting through this one with me, y'all. I know this wasn't the easiest one to listen to. I know there's going to be tons of opinions, and I'm looking forward to the comments, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, because I reply, or I will like your comment, or if you have questions, I will answer them for you. I probably should have said this in the beginning, but I'll say it now. I'm sorry, fellas, if you're watching this with your girl. It ain't going to be a good night for some of y'all. But, as always, I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night or day whenever you're watching this. I appreciate the shit out of y'all. Please like, subscribe, and share so we can keep this train rolling, y'all. Peace.
Day after day, I must face a world of strangers where I don't belong. I'm not that strong.